do you call
when all that you see
are actors on your television singing off key?
What savvy, well-versed heroes can settle this score? Once more with TV. Welcome, archangels and literally God, to Once More with TV, a podcast celebrating TV musical episodes from the sublime to the subprime.
And definitively ranking them using every theater child's worst nightmare, math.
I'm your co-host, Alex Kovnatsky, he, him, and I am a jukebox musical apologist.
And I'm your co-host, Liza Truschel, she, her, and I'm a detective procedural apologist. I know it's propaganda. I know it is. But I love a fun murder, especially if there's an outside consultant, because then I don't have to root for cops.
Yes, there you go. Listen, they're popular for a reason, right? They tap into something.
They kind of really, it's not like really ever going to hit like a Poirot spot for me, but I do think that's where this all started, and I do blame David Suchet.
I will say, I watched Columbo for the first time ever recently, and I was like, I get it.
Dude,
this is awesome.
Yeah,
I love this
really
weird
good.
little guy.
He's a weird little dude who solves crime. And it is, I will say this, for the show we watched Lucifer this week, it does make sense that the devil would work with the LAPD. I was like, I buy it.
Oof.
I'm in.
Everybody look up LA gangs, LA cop gangs. That's important stuff. We watched, like you said, Lucifer season 5, episode 10, Bloody Celestial Karaoke. Liza, I'd love to know, what's your relationship to Lucifer, the idea, and the show?
I had never seen this before. I was aware of the concept, and I remember ads for it really aggressively back when it first started up. And they're like, look, we got a hot guy to play the devil, and he's British. Also makes sense. Yeah, I had never watched it. There are many people in my life who've watched it, though. So, like, I kind of knew that the tone of the show was this very snarky kind of thing. But yeah, I had never seen it. What about you?
Truly nothing. I had never heard of the show. I didn't know of its existence. I think I had mixed it up with a couple of different shows. But once I realized that it was a Neil Gaiman comic, I was like, oh, I remember this as a concept at some point. But this was like, I think maybe the show I knew least about that we've done going into it.
Delightful.
Yeah, that was fun. And in terms of this episode, this was a jukebox musical. I know I said on top I'm a jukebox musical apologist. It's a pretty touchy subject, I think, for musical people. But how do you feel generally about jukebox musicals?
I enjoy a jukebox. I enjoy a jukebox more if it's like a one artist, one band. So like your Carole King ones or your Jagged Little Pills, your Mamma Mia's. I think because it's all one artist, and I mean, even like Jersey Boys tells the story of the Four Seasons, right? So it's like, I think I like that a little bit more. Like I could never really get behind Rock of Ages.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I don't mind a jukebox musical if it's, I really prefer it to be one artist or one group if it's gonna continue. What about you?
Yeah, for me, kind of exactly the same. For me, they have a pretty low ceiling. Like even the best jukebox musical is like fine.
Mamma Mia. We all know which one you're talking about.
Listen, I'm a beautiful Carole King stan.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It is really good. I love Carole King.
Me too. But yeah, the problem is that it has a really low floor too. And there's a lot of like Rock of Ages, I feel like is a really great example of something that is both derivative and bad, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a bad idea and it's uninspired.
Yeah, it is. All of the songs are worse now.
Yes.
Like you took all these songs and somehow you added them together to create something less than the sum of its parts. Good job.
Yeah, that might be related to this episode. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into.
Fuck did we watch?
I have no idea.
Happening?
I have no idea. I have a lot of thoughts about it, but let's get into the episode description before we say more. Okay. The description is Lucifer, Chloe, and the gang sing and dance to a slew of popular tunes while investigating a referee's murder.
Okay, first of all, I don't think anybody said her name is Chloe. I did not learn that over the course of this episode. I literally at one point was like, I'm pretty sure nobody has referred to her by name. Like, Lucifer calls her the detective. I was like, does anybody know what her name is?
Yeah. In my notes, she's just been homegirl for every single note. I didn't even bother looking it up. Yeah, I think we're kind of at a disadvantage not being Lucifer fans at all going into this, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they even had a recap before this episode. We just went straight in.
They did not. I will say a lot of characters gave heavy exposition lines, which I was extremely grateful for. Was really appreciative of those characters.
I want to know, for my curiosity, Liza, what did you think about this episode overall? I really need to know.
Dude, I actually don't know. I was on a roller coaster of emotion. I had highs, I had profound lows. Some of the lows came during the highs at inopportune moments. The Allstate guy was there.
The Allstate guy was God.
The Allstate guy is God. First of all, he was also, I'll give this to the Allstate guy, he was also the president in a couple seasons of 24. But he just has sort of an authority that is undeniable, and it's because of his voice, which is truly so deep. Yeah. But at one point, I did want him to say you're in good hands, and he didn't do it.
He does have a lot of poise and gravitas, but he also was so goofy in this in a way that I really liked. He was so funny,
actually. I was quite endeared to him by the end of this episode. Yeah, this was a hard one for me because there were things that really worked and things that really didn't. There was almost nothing that was just par. I couldn't relax at any point during this episode.
I think that's completely on point. I was exactly the same as you. I was swinging between having a really great time and having a really bad time, and I don't think I really sat in the middle for very long at any point.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Let's start with that first song, Wicked Games. How'd you feel about this opening number?
It was a lot. There was a lot of camera movement. I was getting dizzy. We were spinning around Lucifer a lot. He's singing. Apparently, though, just to say, and I guess this is a musical episode, God is making people sing and dance in Lucifer's mind only, which is hilarious and a great prank to be pulled by your dad.
Yes.
But this one seems to be probably in real world. And I did talk to someone who watches this show who let me know that Tom Ellis does sing on this show a lot. So this part isn't out of reality, probably. Although I will say he looked confused that he was singing a little bit.
Right, because Allstate God mentions a couple of times, hey, you sing all the time. I'm just trying to do the thing that you do, right? I'm trying to relate to you.
I'm trying to communicate with you, my teenage son.
I can understand why he sings all the time in this show. He sounded really good on this song. I thought maybe this is the best performance in the whole episode, which it sucks to have the best performance come first and then everything else be a roller coaster from there.
Certainly for Tom Ellis, this seemed like the thing he was most comfortable on vocally. Yes. It's a little strained at parts in the chorus, and I think that's sort of just his style, to be honest. He kind of relies a lot on his throat. And I was like, oh, polyps in back, because I'm such a dweeb. But this felt like it was very emotional. He seemed very present. I will say, not knowing that this girl... knowing that this girl had a daughter, the girl he's singing the song about, and seeing the drawing of the devil on the fridge holding someone's hand, I thought she did that. And I was like, oh no. Or maybe he did. I was like, what is this drawing?
What's going on?
I did not realize until halfway through the episode that she had a child.
Yep. Yeah.
I was like, no.
You should stay an investigator and not an artist.
Yeah. I was like, I'm so glad you found something else. Your other calling.
I do want the interesting thing for me on this is that his falsetto is really great. his lower notes a little Kermit the Frog like.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was picking up on. He seemed like a little more comfortable when he got into his head voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, just an interesting thing. But I think it works for his character. I think he acted the hell out of it, even though I didn't really know anything about the show going into it.
I got immediately that he really wanted to be in love with this girl.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, sure, I'm in. I don't know who she is or who you are, but...
But to your point, I kind of was like, why is this shot the way it is? Why are we spinning so much?
It was wild. It was like we were on a merry-go-round, and like the number of overlays was crazy. And like even the intro shot is one of the ceiling, like the camera's on the ceiling, and we pan like 180 degrees so that he's upside down as we follow him through the apartment. I was like, what? Why? This is shot 1 of the episode. Although maybe if it's already a musical, this is the world turning upside down. That was the only way I could justify that weird ass shot right at the top. But yeah, it was a lot. And what I do appreciate, we had no spoken words first. We opened straight on this.
It's a wild open. They just really went straight in with it. But then after that, I think we go straight into that football game and the murder, right? Was there any kind of transition?
Well, no, we have Dad shows up first.
Okay, Dad shows up
first because there's I wrote the Allstate commercial guy, Papa, 100 question marks. Is that Dad? Is he God? Is he God?
I actually have the exact same notes. I was having trouble reading it. I was like, wait, what happens next? But yes, Allstate guy is God. We we'll talk about him more throughout the episode, but I was kind of delighted that he was there. It was a nice kind of jump scare.
One of the highs for me of this episode is actually him and Lucifer's dynamic. Like I actually thought he and Tom Ellis had like a good rapport, a good repartee. Thought they had genuinely funny moments together, like some good chemistry. Loved also that he's like in a dad cardigan wearing sandals over socks. Like there was something like very amusing about the way he was costumed for me.
Totally. And like they do like snarky stingers constantly throughout this episode. And they do it really well to each other.
They really, they had a very fun dynamic. They were very watchable, the two of them.
But anyway, after that, we do get to a high school football game where a referee was murdered.
We immediately have it out in public about Lucifer not being capable of love. This was one of the moments I was really, again, very grateful for as someone who'd never seen the show before. But as someone who knows how humans interact, deeply confused by
Yeah, totally. And everybody just calling him Lucifer was also just wild.
Everybody seems to know that he's literally the devil and that his dad is God. I was like, I'm sure at some point that was a mystery, but it's weird to come in on the part of the show where like, this is your dad. You mean God? Like, you all know?
In some way, it was weirdly refreshing to me to have that. Let's not have people lying to other people about their secret identities. Let's just have it all out in the open and people just accept it. They say that the ref got murdered during the 2-minute warning. I'm not sure if high school football has a 2-minute warning, but
I also made that note. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it does.
Maybe it does.
Maybe it didn't when I was in high school, but I'm ancient now, I guess.
But we get our first musical number after that when we do Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah.
My first note was, oh no.
I was full of fear. My first note was, I'm having a heart attack.
This was bad on a lot of levels for me.
I'm going to start with the good. I love the incorporation of a marching band into choreo, and that the choreo was done in sort of a marching band style. That is fun, and I think that's great. And the cheerleaders had some sort of like cheerleadery choreo, and the football players, like, all got down into a starting line. That is all amusing to me. I appreciate all of that.
Not to shit on the thing that you immediately said was good. I was really annoyed that they didn't make the marching band play at all. Another One Bites the Dust is a marching band song.
I loved the choreo, and I hated that the marching band did shit in the arrangement.
But the dancing was good. I liked the dancing. I liked how camp it was, how much they were committing to people dancing around a dead body coming up and dancing again.
Yes, great
I
stuff.
thought that's all pretty funny.
That's all really funny. Again, we always give points for like they made the whole cast do it. Like nobody got out of this alive. It was absolutely humiliating for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. Vocally, I struggled. This is a really tricky song, and like a lot of things in Queen's discography only kind of work because Freddie Mercury was Freddie Mercury, and I think that's a very difficult thing to appreciate until you hear not Freddie Mercury sing songs.
Exactly. It's like they took all of the charisma that Freddie Mercury brings to the song out of the song completely.
It was just spoken. It was just like spoken word.
And it was somehow like it was bad when they were doing their individual verses, but when they were singing in unison, it was somehow worse.
It was somehow worse.
I don't know how that happened.
That was a strange alchemy that I have never seen before.
Yeah.
There was also some weirdness in the arrangement with some of the callbacks. Like, didn't love Lucifer had some yeahs on top that made me write not yeah. That's all I said about that.
Let's go.
Yeah, we had defense. Like we had like a lot of like high school cheerleader chants in the background, which I don't think added.
Yeah.
Really wild.
Yeah, this was a big no for me because the first song I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then this song comes up and I'm like, oh, this is pretty bad. And then I was expecting the rest of the episode to be this level of bad. And in some places it was, and in some places it wasn't. This is like the epitome of that roller coaster feeling for this one.
Yeah, I really, wow. Yeah. My like heart rate spiked a lot of times for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. Anyway, thankfully that song does end and we get out of that.
Thank God.
We're like trying to figure out why the ref was murdered. There was a couple
also,
of...
by the way, it really bothered me, like detective show wise, that she knew the whistle was the murder weapon before it had gone to the lab. Like, we're still on site. Like, did you look at it and see the word poison written on it? Like, what the fuck?
It's Cusco's poison.
Yeah, the poison for Cusco. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this, lady? I was annoyed about that.
Yeah, totally. I do love Chloe standing up to God, though, in that moment.
That was so fire. I actually had so much respect for that.
Me too.
She just went right up to God and said, "You're a bad father." I was like, hell yes, Chloe. Like, I loved that ride or die energy of like, I'm going to fight your dad. And your dad is God, and I literally don't care.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I really like her as a character. I thought she was great.
I was immediately like, oh, this is an important woman. Like, that's a cool thing to do. I love that you could tell she's serious because she had no bumps on her ponytail and a center part. Very serious.
Down to
She's
business.
only wearing black and gray. She's so serious.
I don't really have any more from the scene. It cuts to the next scene where
Robin Wood from Buffy
yes.
is arguing with that small woman.
Yes, exactly. Are you talking? Wait, sorry. That's the interrogation scene, right?
Oh my God, no. There's a scene before that, I think.
Yeah, I'm so lost in the sauce with these scenes.
Yeah. So there's
the interracial couple scene.
We cut to him, and so and you mean interracial, and that he's an archangel, and that she's a woman.
Yeah, I kept thinking the whole time, I'm like, is this an interracial couple conversation, or is this, are they going for something with this here? I really couldn't tell.
I don't think they were. But it was wild to me that this woman, who was later revealed to be a therapist, didn't know until after she'd had a baby who is like, at least a few months old from the look of this baby. Did not know until after she'd had a baby with an archangel that he thought humans were inferior. I'm like, that never came up? Are you fucking joking me?
It's crazy.
That feels like a huge thing to not have covered at all. I will also say him saying just a normal human baby with such disdain was such a mood. Because that's how I feel whenever I walk past a stroller and I like look in hoping to see a dog and there's like a human baby.
Yeah, I forget you're not a human baby fan.
No, not at all. They're gross and loud. I want that stroller to have a Frenchie that can't breathe in it. That's what I want.
After
Then we get to the interrogation.
Yeah.
This is
then we get to the interrogation from this, which was a wild interrogation scene too.
Yeah. Also, it seems to me that Lucifer's like only contribution he brings to the team is that he can ask people what their deepest desire is, even when it's irrelevant, and somehow this solve crimes.
I like it as a power. Like, I like it as a mechanic for the show. I think it's fun.
It was very funny.
I was so concerned because that mom was really not helping their case at all throughout that whole
No, she was terrible. Yeah, she was awful.
She was really making it seem like they did murder that ref.
Yeah. And then in the end, she's like, wait, you think I killed him? I'm like, why do you think you're here?
It's so strange. But we get the next song from that. We do Every Breath You Take. Yeah, tell me what that sigh's about.
I mean, first of all, the light went so blue. There were a lot of like wild directing choices in this. And one of them was that whenever a song started and we were indoors, suddenly the lights would like turn a color. And for a while, I was like, are musicals blue? Like, is that what you think is going on? So like, anyway, yeah. So the directing choices were really wild to me. Of course, for Lucifer, the song is about my dad is watching me. And this woman, it's about her obsession with her son that is like deeply upsetting.
Yeah. So I really liked the song choice for that reason. I thought they did a fun job of giving different motivations to be singing those lyrics, and in a way that made it kind of funny too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a lot I didn't like about it.
The woman the mom put so much sauce on this. It was
100%.
dripping with sauce. I was like, I gotta get a paper towel and wipe this down. Like, you need to calm down, lady. I thought Tom Ellis sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I think he sounds pretty good. Yeah. I liked, they had like so many sections of harmony, and I'm always a fan for them trying to do that. Some of it was not good, but some of it was really good. Some of the little harmonies, I like the last note of harmony on that song. This is really, really nitpicky of me, but the guitar they're playing isn't right for the song. You're supposed to mute like most of the notes and sustain some of the notes. It's a really iconic guitar part, and they weren't doing it. And I was really upset about that.
Even my extremely untrained ear was like, that's not how this song goes.
It's the right notes. It's just not the right phrasing.
I will argue it's not the most offensive guitar in this episode, but we'll get...
No, it's not. I do want to say, I think also Lucifer, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, but he does sound like Sting. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I would love to know if that's a conscious choice.
Yeah. And he'll be watching me at the end was pretty funny, low key.
Yeah, it did work.
That too.
It did work. After this, the kid, I don't even know if this is a reference, but the kid's deepest desire is revealed that he wants to be a pastry chef. And I was like, that's a very High School Musical coded.
Yeah. I put Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
I literally wrote Zeke from High School Musical.
It's very decom for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
This is when I started to like get a little bit confused too, because it seems like God doesn't know how anything works.
Yeah. Fascinating, right? Totally
it's really
fascinating.
weird for your all-knowing entity.
Yeah, it was really wild. There was something really nice about how Lucifer was like, I'm going to try to repair my relationship with my dad, like my generational trauma, in order to have a healthy romantic relationship. And I was like, damn, okay, Lucifer.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
But then, yeah, him like that dad, omnipotent God, walking into a police station and be like, where's your throne? Like, what's going on?
It's so weird. It does give good dad energy though, right? Like it's like, I don't understand how anything works, but I'm going to walk in with the confidence that I do.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
And I think Lucifer slips in the line at some point in this where he says, but for you's sake. And I thought that was really good.
That was very funny too. I did get that. We do also reveal that like another cop, I don't know his name, but the male detective fucked God's wife. Something I didn't know he had. It's not
Yeah,
any of the
totally.
lore I knew about a Judeo-Christian God.
Yeah, it's canon now that God is very hetero, and
Yeah,
this
very
guy.
hetero.
I love that the other guy, the detective, is immediately scared. Like, oh no,
That was really funny. That's really funny, and that worked for me.
yeah. It's not like he's angry at his wife, presumably, or confused
I don't know.
about
It
the
sounded like
situation.
she was dead. Or
Yeah,
like
I
she had-
couldn't tell.
whatever it was, the relationship was no more. So I don't know. I couldn't tell. Don't know anything.
Yeah, and I like that he wasn't mad about that or mad about being deceived or anything like that. He
No.
was just afraid.
He was just immediately afraid because God is known to be vengeful. And that was really funny for me. I really
That
got a
worked.
kick out of that.
That worked. All right.
Okay.
This
Is
next
there something
song,
you'd like to bring up?
I might have said Another One Bites the Dust is the worst. I don't know. I don't think I did say that.
No.
I think this
No,
one's the
because
worst
this
song.
one's so obviously right there. The fourth song is a mashup of Bad to the Bone and No Scrubs by
Mhm.
TLC. Two songs that don't work together at all.
It's a bold mashup. I love a bold mashup. I love taking two things that really don't belong together and finding a way to put them together. But the problem is that you're running a high risk here of making something sound awful, and this was that,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. It was really upsetting because I happen to love the song No Scrubs so much. It's
Yeah.
such a banger and it's such a classic. And this made me so upset. First of all, ludicrously sexy woman walks in. Can we just talk about
Yes.
how insanely she's coded for like a bounty hunter? Like she comes in wearing like a bra and leather pants, like throwing a hot man at our lead forensics person.
It was,
I was like-
really silly being like, I'm the bad one, I'm the good one.
Yeah, it was really goofy. It was so weird. And there was a lot of like, this is like one of the big instances for me of like choreo that is essentially just made up of turning and punching the air in different directions.
Yeah.
Like, it was really odd choreo.
It was really weird.
It was so strange. These songs didn't work together at all. And I did kind of like what the forensics girl was doing, like, counteracting her own lyrics by saying, like, oh, I don't want no scrubs, then very obviously being into scrubs.
Yeah,
Like, I did
yeah.
think, like, that was actually kind of interesting on its own. But because it was so poorly met with this other really bad song, it was, like, impossible to enjoy any moment of this.
Yeah, she also, unfortunately, I don't want to punch down really, but No Scrubs Girl really didn't sound good on the song. And I don't think she
No.
sounded bad in the sense that she wasn't hitting the notes. It's just like the kind of very straight singing of the song doesn't work for an R&B
Doesn't
track
serve
at
it.
all.
Yeah, it doesn't serve the song at all.
Are those teens in love though?
Oh, maybe. Those teens might be in love.
I kind of thought those teens could be in love. Maybe I was
Those
just
teens-
hoping for something
I
better.
think you're hoping. I think you're hoping in a way that I would also hope.
Mhm.
Because I think it's a more interesting story if those teens are in love. But I don't know.
Here's my question too. Was Lucifer here during this scene?
I guess he was maybe in the building.
Because this is supposed to be happening in his head, right? Like, who's this for?
Yeah, like I don't know. I guess God at this point is just having a good time.
I will say, I've said it before, I love a big swing. I love them trying to do something and failing horribly. I will take that over something mid usually, but this was pretty bad to watch all around.
Yeah, this was a bad audio visual experience. This was a bad time. I had a bad
Some
time.
of the dancing was good. Some of the dancing was bad.
I mean, the backup dancers were clearly really talented.
Yes.
Like, there were clearly a lot of really talented people working, but also like the switch, but again, the lighting on this one drove me crazy. Like the switch from like bright blue to like bright yellow in between songs, as if I wouldn't notice we'd switched songs from Bad to the Bone to No Scrubs, was so weird and did not work for me.
Yeah, just two polar opposite songs, which again could be great if it works, but it doesn't. So
this is just Ryan Murphy disease. Like, this is really like Glee just did this so often and honestly so successfully so many times that there was like this universe for a while where like everything should be mashed up. And like actually not all of them are created equal.
Yeah, 100%. After that, I think there's a scene before we get family therapy, but family therapy was awesome.
We go to God doesn't like the coffee, and the only thing I want to say about this is God doesn't like the coffee. So God is in the building and Lucifer's in the building. So I guess that is the explanation for why that was happening. But there's like again a directorial choice that I fucking hated was like he wants Chloe to be the decider if this coffee is like bad or good. Yes. And him pushing it to her mouth was so viscerally upsetting. I hated every moment of that. There were too many hands in the shot because she's using both hands to get it out of her face and he's using both hands to get it into her mouth. And it sucked. I was like, I had such a bad reaction to that. I broke out knives. That was a terrible choice.
I do like that she just consistently keeps setting boundaries, though. Yeah, she's very great about that.
Mad respect for that.
And I also love that God is petty. That feels right to me.
God is super petty, and that's biblically accurate.
Yeah, this is a Bible podcast. We're Bible experts.
Yeah, this is a faith podcast.
Okay, but they are in family therapy after that, which genius move. What a smart thing to do.
Absolutely so funny. Especially
so
if I guess you have a therapist in the main cast, right? So like why not do this? Genuinely funny. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. And I think there's like really genuinely valid complaints and discussions happening here. Like I love that Lucifer says that God keeps making people imperfect and then being mad at them for not measuring up. Like, that's a really great point.
That's a super good point.
We get the line, too, of him being a baritone tenor split, which, again, I just love when we do that. That's very good.
Always funny. Always funny. I will say the therapist ends this by saying, "You smell what I'm cooking," which is an insane thing for a therapist to say.
Yeah, that therapist is pretty unprofessional throughout this whole scene, but I do like her a lot.
She's clearly wrapped up in her own shit in a very TV-friendly way, right?
Yeah. I do believe I smell what you're cooking. This is so good.
Yeah, it's really funny. I mean, it works.
Going on with the investigation after this, they're like in a locker room trying to talk to a coach. And I love that God says, "What a lovely sweaty room you brought me to."
Passive aggressive God, also funny. Like God being like annoyingly supportive also works for me.
Yeah, because it's funny. It is that line of like, I think the intent is to try to relate and be nice and kind, but it does only sound like sarcasm the whole time.
The whole time, which was good stuff. The one thing I will, like, this guy who plays the coach, first of all, was on every single procedural show at this time. Yeah. Like, I can't give you his name, but I can tell you, like, 8 other shows he was on in that 10-year span.
He also plays a huge asshole in The Pit, and in the most recent episode just punched a nurse, and it was... I've never been more angry. He does a really good job at being scum, so kudos to him for that. No,
he's extremely good at it, and he was cast for it for a really long time for good reason. Yeah. I will say he does ball tap the devil, which is crazy. He ball taps Lucifer, which is an insane thing to do to a man you've just met who is investigating a crime.
Listen, I'm a cishet man. I thought that was really funny.
I was shocked.
I thought it was really funny.
Yeah. One thing I will say, I don't know, if I were God or some kind of dictator or something, the first thing I would make illegal immediately jail is saying hashtag out loud. I think it's kind of the worst thing that's ever happened. And there's something worse about it when it's on TV and therefore scripted. But at one point during the scene, Lucifer says hashtag out loud. I'm like, I guess he's literally the devil, so I'll allow it. But no, don't.
This episode came out in 2021. That feels too late to be saying hashtag.
Late. That's way too late.
The next scene, they're in a bar, and we get that detective who's grappling with sleeping with God's wife.
Very funny. Did work for me.
I do like that continuation of that. Like, now he's at a bar and he's like, fuck, I fucked God's wife. What do I do about
really
this?
Good. I will say one thing again about the direction of this particular scene, and maybe it's just the editing. There was an extra who is later revealed, of course, to be a dancer behind the bar who's like cleaning the bar, moving around cups, doing way too much busy work in the background of this shot because you can only see his hands, but he's like moving the guy's cup in like every other shot they use.
Yeah, it feels bad for continuity and everything.
Yeah, I was so distracted.
You know what else is distracting? The next song that came up.
Oh my god.
The song aptly named Hell.
Where I was when it started playing.
Listen, I don't think this is the worst song, for sure. No. We already talked about that. The bar choreo is pretty fun. It is a song where people are dancing and having a fun time, and I think that's maybe the most positive things we could say about it.
There's this is heavy punch choreo. Yes. This is like, we are just punching the air in different ways for most of this choreo. I thought this song might have been original. We talked about this before we recorded because it's so bad. And I was like, nobody wrote and released this song. And I was wrong. This is a ska song. First of all, ska, the worst genre ever to have existed. Pretty much run.
We might disagree on that. There's a lot of genres of bad music out there. And there are some good ska songs. Ska had a moment in time. But it's
that moment in time was not 2021.
It was not 2021. It's kind of a wild choice for them to have this
song. The song is by Squirrel Nut Zippers, something that gives me just a bad taste in my mouth to say. The lyrics are awful. Like, they don't even fit the meter. Like, they're adding articles in order to make them fit the meter. They're adding just like the word the all the time. Yeah. Like, now you make the scene today. That's not a sentence. You might be like, for the serious strife. No, it's not the. Like, I was so angry this entire song. It was awful.
It was relatively short, and I think the main character of this song does a decent enough job vocally.
This is not on him. Yeah, I think he was given a pile of shit to work with, and he seems to have a good time and convey some genuine, like, joie de vivre during this song that it didn't deserve. And so I'm going to give him some credit here.
It's just a wild choice to have this song to begin with. I know the song is called Hell. I feel like they just looked up what songs include the word hell in it, and it was the first one that came up.
This is the first one that came up on Google's cursed search, and they should not have used it. It was awful.
Anyway, after that song, we do get Lucifer saying the name of the episode. Love that.
Very fun. Yeah.
We love that.
Great stuff. Great stuff every time.
I really love God dancing along and saying, "Dance, children."
Also, dad dancing, I will say specifically, like doing a dad dance. That was a good goof, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, he really does nail the like awkward dad God thing. Like, I really like this version of God.
That is a weird thing to have to play, and he does it very convincingly. I was really into him.
Yeah. The next scene after that, we get Lucifer waking up naked on the couch.
Who sleeps naked on the couch? Who does this? That's psychotic behavior.
He is the devil. we
so
gotta
true.
Remember that.
He has such tiny nipples. I don't like to call out people's body parts, and that's not a positive or negative. It just caught the eye. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love the whole coffee bit that was happening here where he's like,
oh, I thought that was really enjoyable. Yeah.
Aptly named Jesus is very funny.
Very funny. Very funny. Went down to Bolivia to get it this morning. Lucifer having to begrudgingly admit that it is really good coffee.
Exactly. I feel like this is when they really start to get in their bag with their dynamic of like every line is kind of a joke back and forth between them until it's not, and they're starting to argue about something serious. And I actually really like that kind of script, and I think they do the script a lot of justice with their acting.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. God has some joke where he's like, Lucifer's like, "Can you just chill today?" And God's like, "I usually chill after 6 days of work."
That's
really
very
got
good.
Me.
It's a very funny joke.
Yeah, that was good.
But then we get the next scene in the park, which gives us our next song, Just the Two of Us, a classic banger.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about this rendition of it?
Stroller choreo was delightful to me. I liked just the two of us being a parent and a child. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was kind of like a cute way to reinvent the motive of the song.
Mm-hmm.
I think she sounds kind of fine on it. Like she's clearly not like a vocalist, but she sounds fine. She's doing her good work. The rap. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about the rap?
I think we have to.
Can we talk about Principal Robin Wood's rap in the middle of it?
It's bad enough to just like, hey, this is a black character. They should be rapping on a track, right? It's already bad enough to do that.
We'll also note that like we forgive things if they do that successfully. Even Stevens, we talked about this, right?
Sure.
Where like it's kind of annoying that like the one black guy has to rap, but he does such a great job that you kind of forgive it, you know?
Yeah. And the rapping on here isn't inherently bad. The thing that drove me crazy is like the extra percussion that they placed on the track to make it like, this is now rap. This is more urban. And it
felt like a white person saying the word urban directly into my ear. That was really the feeling that I got.
Yeah. And it's Just the Two of Us is just such a great song. And I was just sad the whole time, kind of.
I know.
That was happening.
I know. And there was also like some of the, like, this just wasn't written very well. Like, some of the rhyming was really bad. Like, he rhymed upset and itself. Those two words don't fucking rhyme.
Not at all. Not at all.
I really did not have a lot of time for this. I was saddened by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he says, like, just the three of us. I'm like, that's not the song.
We've changed it. I do like having all like you're saying the stroller choreo and having all the different couples. I like that we have some queer couples in there too. That's good representation. Was kind of hoping for a poly couple just because it would be funny, on just the two of us, just the three of us. But no, I thought that aspect of it was good. But what I liked way more is right after the scene when they're complaining about all of the awful things that are happening. And one of the things mentioned is the TV is on motion smoothing.
The TV is on motion smoothing. Yeah. So this woman like kills her husband because he's constantly criticizing her. And I was like, I hate to agree with your husband, but your TV should never be on motion smoothing.
It should never be.
Like, that should not be happening. You should have fixed that.
I think it's maybe one of the most annoying things about me that if I am watching someone else's TV,
I'll go to someone else's house and I'll fix it.
Yeah,
I fixed it on my dad's TV the last time I was there. I was like, Dad, this is fucking unacceptable.
It's gross and bad. I hate that it's the default on new TVs. It's
disgusting.
The worst thing.
Absolutely disgusting.
But we do get the next song after that, which is Smile, the Nat King Cole song. We have a kid singing. One thing I'll say right off the bat, okay, we haven't really talked about set design on this show. Lucifer's apartment is the craziest thing I've ever looked at. I just want to throw that out there. He lives in a bar. It was crazy. There's like a random stained glass window to nowhere. Like, there was a lot going on in that space that was absolutely insane to look at. In this space, there is such a thing as keeping too much of your child's art. And this woman is doing it. Okay? She has like 2 gallery walls full of shitty drawings. It's got to make it really clear she has a kid.
I was like, babe, you gotta get some other stuff in here. But we get Smile. The kid is fine.
Yeah, the kid's great. Yeah.
The kid's great. I thought she was on tune. It wasn't like I don't know, there wasn't like a ton of like the scene. I feel so mean to say this about a kid. There wasn't a ton of like musicality to the way she was singing. But like, it was fine. She was on pitch. It was very sweet. It was a sweet little moment.
It does exactly what it needs to do. And I think that's really difficult to do with kid actors. So, honestly, huge kudos there, because I really don't have much bad to say about this.
Yeah.
And it was also useful for me to see that montage, but it was also very funny with no context for the rest of the show.
Yeah, with no context for the rest of the show. I was like, oh, he has wings sometimes? That's crazy. I learned so much during this montage.
It felt like that episode of Community where they're recapping like things that happened in previous episodes that like never happened.
Yeah, that's a really good episode. It was a lot of like, oh wow.
I also have the question again, like, was she able to like see and hear all of this too? Because I think for sure Lucifer wasn't in this scene.
He wasn't, but we cut to God outside the door. Did you?
Okay. So God is just doing this to other people
for his
too.
own shit. Yeah. Well, like, Lucifer seems to apply, so it's not technically all happening in Lucifer's head, I don't think. I think because Lucifer says something like, oh, right, you're human. You wouldn't experience it the same way. So I do think it's like, or you don't remember it. Like, he mentions that to someone at one point. Like, he was like, it was when we were all singing and dancing on the what? And she was like, what? And he was like, oh, you're human. So I think it's like, happening on a very strange, I think it's maybe happening and then God is turning back time so that it didn't happen for certain people and only Lucifer remembers it. Only archangels would remember it. Also begging the question of the other archangel, Robin Wood, would remember that he had just rapped in a park, because we don't follow up with him. And he would have absolutely no context for that, so he's probably pretty confused.
That is interesting to me. Okay, the rules were very confusing, so I think that does clear it up. Because
I say this because the first song, nobody else notices it happened, and it goes back, like, they do Another One Bites the Dust, and it goes back to immediately before the song happened. And Lucifer's like, what? And everybody else is like, we were having a conversation. So I think it's happening, but only like archangels are capable of either remembering it or experiencing it in a way that they would remember.
Got it. I thought it was cutting back to that moment because it was only happening in Lucifer's head and it was not a reality that existed.
No, I think it's a reality that exists very briefly in a Jeremy Bearimy sense.
Okay, got it. Nice. Well, I think after this is the scene where we actually confront the murderer. I forget that there's like a plot to this that we're trying to find. No,
that was just before, because she's the one who her husband said the thing about motion smoothing.
Got it. Perfect. Right, because after this, wow, we left out that part of it too. Sorry, I'm moving, so I couldn't keep track of anything that was happening.
No, this was crazy.
Episode.
This made me feel like my head was in a blender. This was wild.
Right. I just had the note of I had a run-in with a lady, we had bad chemistry, and I was like, that's connecting to this moment.
No, because that's God asks him why his jacket's burned.
Jacket's burned, yeah.
Because she used a Bunsen burner as a flamethrower. I mean, we didn't mention that, but that did happen.
We do get this last scene, though, with God and Lucifer that turns into I dreamed a dream.
Here, I actually don't know if I hated this more than I hated the no scrubs. Like, to me, this is like, these are on par. I was upset. I felt hurt. I felt betrayed. My immediate note that I wrote with he says something of like, this isn't what I dreamed. And then we've got like the backup coming in. And what I wrote was, no.
It's a wild choice. And it doesn't work on a lot of levels. As a duet, just period, it doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't work. No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense as a duet. This is I'll say a few things. This is a really hard song. I mean, there's reason the song is like, this is a very famous song for like mezzo-soprano women to do because it's super hard and extremely emotional and really good. Like, I think because we're writing it as a duet and because we have a man who is a tenor baritone and a man who is like a bass, we put Tom Ellis in a vocal range where he doesn't sound very comfortable. He starts
Yeah.
it like really high.
Yeah, and he's a little flat on those high notes.
And he's a little flat. And so I don't think he's in his like comfort zone at all. We've got some inexcusable riffing.
Yes.
Inexcusable, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. This is the most offensive guitar to me.
Yes. 100%.
The electric guitar on this was a crime. Immediately jail to that decision.
And the accompaniment on the piano is wrong. Like, it's not,
it's wrong.
I mean, like, I understand it's not wrong in the sense that they made a choice to do a different accompaniment, but it was a bad choice, and that was wrong.
It's bad.
The whole arrangement was bad. I get that if you made the bad choice and you're locked into making it a duet, it's a hard thing to do, but they also really just didn't do that well. And the way they filmed it was really weird, too.
Very weird. Again, suddenly we're lighting insanely. Like, this was the most orange my television has ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't understand that choice, like, at all. Yeah, this did not land and was a very unfortunate note to end this show on.
Yeah. And it is one of those things where I Dreamed a Dream is obviously a fantastic song, but I forget how fantastic it is until I see a really bad version like this that
just like
makes
Another
it so
One Bites
much
the
worse.
Dust.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's a reason like Freddie Mercury was that guy. Like
Yeah.
it's a hard song to pull off, I
Mhm.
Dreamed a Dream. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
And yeah, just this is not a good rendition.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Allstate God is also kind of not on the notes at any point, really. He's a
No.
little bit off it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I appreciate that we're not auto-tuning them to hell.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
I
true.
appreciate that. I just think that there were other song choices that we could have made here that would have been way more interesting for their dynamic and their relationship and could have had that same, like, yearning feeling. Because clearly, like, what Lucifer's mourning is what he sees as, like, the loss of, like, the kind of life he could have had now that it's been interfered with.
Mhm.
And like I couldn't really understand what God wanted through this
Yeah.
song. I think there must have been another choice we could have made, and possibly one that would have been more suited to being a duet and more suited to both of these vocal ranges, which I think are not served by where they're put. Like, I just think
100%.
the choice of song was poor and the arrangement was god awful.
Mhm.
And I think both of these actors were done a disservice by it. I think they do their best, but like,
Yeah.
I think both of them were disserviced by this.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's not so much on the actors. It's just a bad choice. And I will say, after the song, the fight that they have, I thought was pretty good.
No, again, like I was like, these are good actors, and I'm annoyed that you made them do this bad version of a song because,
Yeah.
like, I did actually think that their fight was interesting and, like, clearly, like, you know, clearly very emotional, but felt pretty earned. And
Yeah.
Allstate Guy cries, and I was like, this is interesting. And we learned that God's like losing control of his powers, and that might be why he's here. And like, I was interested by that, and I was like, I wish that this song had had any of that emotional resonance for me,
Totally.
because it absolutely didn't.
Yeah. And yeah, that last fight that they have, or the last scene where they're fighting, does feel like a play. I don't know if I Dreamed a Dream sets that tone that makes it feel like a play, and maybe it's a good choice for that. But it did feel like I was watching like the last days of Judas Iscariot or something. Like, it felt like one of these, like,
I mean,
we're
pick
debating
a
big
Jesus
principles.
Christ Superstar song.
I don't know if that brings the same weight. Say that much. But yeah, we do get the stinger at the end that God's losing his powers. That is a good stinger. I do like that for the end
Yeah,
of this.
I mean, hey, that's pretty big stakes. It's pretty big stakes.
I gotta ask one more question here. Does this episode make you want to watch Lucifer?
God, it's such a good question. Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of enjoyed the writing of this. Like, there are ways in which it was really like everybody says exactly what they fucking think all the time in a way that I do find annoying because it's just not how people behave. And I think it's more interesting when people are not saying what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
So that was sort of irritating to me. But like, there was a lot of good banter, especially for this genre. Like, it felt very genre appropriate. And I thought, like, I was like, oh, we based a show around Tom Ellis because he's very charismatic.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, he's interesting and kind of fun. Like, I don't know that this is a show I'd watch a lot of, but I was like, maybe in the background while I'm working, I can turn on Lucifer. Like, that's kind of where it's sitting for me.
Totally. It was a wild introduction to this show.
Crazy introduction. Like, could not have asked for a weirder introduction. But I was like, weirdly, they were struggling so much with the musical parts. But I was like, the straight scenes are okay.
Yeah.
I was like, clearly they've got an established thing going on outside of this. It's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, speaking of interesting, I have no idea how this scoring is going to go. It might be the easiest scoring ever. It might be weird. Let's see.
Let's get into it.
All right. So to score this guy, we're going to start, as always, with general vibe, enjoyment level.
That's the hardest one for this particular episode.
Listen, I don't think it's aged badly. I don't think it's problematic, but is it a good episode? That is the real question.
The hugest question mark you could possibly have. Yeah, we both talked about how we had a good time and we had a really bad time.
Yeah. I think in terms of general vibe, right, I think it is probably slightly more positive than negative.
Right. So if we're talking like a 5 is neutral. Mm-hmm. It's above that. I had a slightly better time than I had a bad time. Mm-hmm. Not by a lot.
Yes.
Because
I was both pleasantly surprised and unpleasantly surprised at multiple moments.
Yes.
I'm kind of feeling a 6. I think it's just above neutral.
Yeah,
for me.
I think that's right. I think a 6 is right. The music is up next. Mm-hmm. This is arrangements. This is original versus found music. This is where it's going to really... This is not going to be a high score for me.
No.
First of all, it's all found music, which puts it probably immediately a lower score on the lower end. And then we talked endlessly about how the arrangements for this are dog shit.
Yeah, they're not good.
They do a disservice to the songs and to the actors.
There are some good ideas happening. Like, I think Every Breath You Take is a good choice of a song.
Sure.
I think the arrangement for Wicked Games was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like some of the harmonies that they do. I don't like all of them. I want to give it something like a 2.5, maybe.
We can do a 2.5. I'm okay with that.
All right. Lyrics, kind of a similar boat. Yeah, they do change some of the lyrics, though.
They do change some of the lyrics. It's really like, do these lyrics feel like they suit characters, suit the tone of the show? Do they drive the story forward? Do they drive character development forward? Some of this goes back again to the music choices, which I feel like made that a little bit unclear. Mm-hmm. And like, I will say the only original lyrics were the rap, and those were the worst lyrics possibly besides Hell, which is the worst lyrics I've ever heard, but I guess that's not technically their fault.
Yeah. It was kind of fun how they inverted No Scrubs a little bit lyrically.
Yeah, we did say that. That is fun.
It's still pretty low for me. I think it's probably better than the music, but not by a lot.
But not by a lot.
Like, maybe give it a 3 or 4?
Yeah, let's give it a 3.5. Let's give it a 3.5.
I want to give it something.
Let's give it something.
Okay. Dancing. They did a lot of dancing. I think they had dancing in almost every number, if not every number.
The ones where it was appropriate. I mean, like, you don't really dance during Smile.
Or I Dreamed a Dream. What?
Or
people don't dance during I Dreamed a Dream.
That would have been iconic. I might have turned that song around for me.
She really would have loved to see him flossing during I Dreamed a Dream. Yeah.
Right? What if he did Hot to Go?
I hope they play Hot to Go. I think the dancing is at times not very good, but I do like the level of commitment that they go to doing the dancing, right? Like, I like the push to have dancing happening kind of all the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of the dancing, it's also like, I mean, we'll give it to them that they make the main characters do it. Like, our main characters don't get a free pass while everybody dances around them, which I really appreciate. The choreo itself, I don't think is particularly great. Mm-hmm. Again, I do think the best moments are probably during Another One Bites the Dust.
Mhm.
There are a few moments during Hell that are all right too, but like it's a lot of like punching the air choreo.
Yeah.
Maybe so that our mains can keep up with it. But I do think that we clearly have a lot of trained dancers in the background. We could have given them a little bit more to do.
Yeah.
But again, appreciate the full out nature of what they've done here.
Yeah, and like I like the stroller choreography in just the two
That's
of
great
us.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. There's some stuff in the Bad to the Bone, No Scrubs that is good. Some of it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I'm thinking maybe like a 7.5. I want to give it like a little bit of something, but what are you thinking?
I'm feeling a 7.
Let's stick it a 7. Let's stick
Yeah.
it a 7. Performance is up next. This is acting performance, vocal performance. Honestly, pretty decent, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, given what material they had. Some performances are better than others.
Sure.
Some are kind of not quite there.
Yeah.
But I think acting wise, everybody kind of gets the message of like what kind of thing we're going for. And it's a tough thing to go for. It's very silly at times and very serious at times. And I think they balance that pretty well as actors.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think especially on the parts of God and Lucifer, who kind of get the most of the driving force of this episode. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be one of the higher scores we give out. I do think that there are, like we said, stronger and weaker. I don't know. I'm thinking 7 to an 8.
Yeah, let's give it a 7.5.
Okay. Love a 7.5. We have to be banned from doing 7.5s. We're really so
I think we got to
bad
be
about
banned from doing 7s. I think we have more 7s than anything else.
it. Probably. Writing.
Oh man, this is a toughie.
This is really hard. Because, again, like I said, I really hate when characters say exactly what they think all the time. It's lazy writing. I mean, it's just like you don't trust your audience or your actor to be able to get something across that they're not saying directly. And it really kind of drives me crazy. That said, there are a lot of good quips in here.
It's a lot of
This
funny
was
goofs.
quippy, and I really enjoyed the quips like most of the time. And whether that's down to the charisma of the actors giving it or the quips themselves, I did enjoy quite a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. I think it's evident by how confused I was where we were in each scene. Like the actual overall structure was leaving a lot to be desired. But I think it's tough for a musical episode when you're trying to have a bunch of characters do things at the same time. So, you know, I'll give a little bit back for that. But yeah, the writing for me is strongest when we are with Lucifer and God.
Yeah.
And kind of less
Struggling
strong when we're with
elsewhere.
anyone else.
Yeah. Struggling elsewhere. For me, particularly the story of Linda and, oh my God, I literally just don't know Robin Wood's name. It's Robin Wood. I'm sorry. Felt really detached from everything else that was going on. Was sort of like shocked to see them again. Like when she comes in on just the two of us, I was like, oh, hi. Forgot you were in this show.
And we do have to take it with a grain of salt that we have not watched any other episodes. So like,
so true. So it could,
the fact that we can jump in and still understand most of it is a credit to the show a little bit.
Is it? I will
maybe
say,
it's not. Maybe it's not. Yeah.
I will say part of it is like what's something I was really grateful for as someone who does not watch the rest of the show was the heavy exposition. But as someone who does watch it, I probably would have been annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because they'll just state their entire relationship to a person to their face, which is like wild. It's like a wild thing to do with yourself.
Yeah. All that to say, I don't know. Maybe the writing is like a 6 for me. Maybe a little bit better than neutral.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I think I'll give it a 6.
I did think it was really funny.
It's so quippy. I just think the rest of it kind of there's a quippy veneer over some really shoddy scene work.
Yeah, it sucks because like I wanna like the individual writing moments are very good. The overall writing moments are not.
Yeah, totally. There are flashes of brilliance on this, but it's kind of putting lipstick on a pig a little bit.
A little bit. Direction is up next.
I'm
how it was
not
shot,
gonna
all
give
that kind of
any
stuff.
points for this. So yeah, cinematography, blocking, framing, editing. This bothered me almost the entire episode.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time with the direction of this.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think also bottom line, like us not being able to fully comprehend what was going on is a problem in the directing for me. It's also a problem in the writing, frankly. But the lighting was fucking weird. There were many shots. There were shots that worked. Like I will say, like scenes like I really enjoyed some of the shots during Another One Bites the Dust. Like that top-down marching band kind of shots, really fun. Like there were some shots that really worked, but there were so many that were distracting and weird.
Yeah.
And really threw me sideways.
Yeah. And like took away from like the emotional thrust of the episode.
Yeah, like I'm
too.
just thinking about how orange the room is when we're singing I Dream to Dream. I'm like, no room has ever been this orange. Like,
yeah, are we thinking like a 2?
yeah, I think so.
It's harsh but fair.
It's really harsh. We can do a 3.
Okay. Yeah, let's give it a 3.
Let's do a 2.5.
2.5. That's how science works.
That's how science works.
You give a number
guys
and then you think about it a little
about
bit
it.
and you feel guilty enough to do
give
a
it
little bit
half
more.
point. And I'm going to be clear. The half point is actually coming from the way the actors were directed. That's where we're giving the half point. Because to me,
I think that's right.
the rapport between those two characters is making up for so much of this show. Yeah. But they were very well directed and I think had very honest emotional moments. And that's what we're giving it to. Commitment. This is, I mean, how much do they commit to the concept of musical? How many songs are there? This is pretty high, I think.
Yeah, they
really
committed a lot. Yeah, the only thing that we could take away from them is that, it is a jukebox musical.
Sure.
They do put a musical song in it, which I think is kind of like a commitment choice, right? Is kind of like, hey, no, this is a musical. We're going to do an actual musical number and one of the hardest ones.
Just the hardest one you could think of.
I mean, it's not Sondheim. They could have been doing something crazy.
No, my God.
Right?
Can you imagine doing like another 100 people? Although Being Alive would have actually suited better. So who are we to say? Right? I mean, again, it doesn't work as a duet. I don't think God could have been there.
It seems weird to say Being Alive to your dad.
Yeah, no. It would have been a better, like, I Want song for Lucifer, maybe.
Yeah. So all that to say, right, I think they do commit quite a bit. I think some of it gets taken away from making it unoriginal music. But
like, part of the commitment on a show like this, on like a cable show, is money. And they put money into this. Like that Another One Bites the Dust scene was fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we get like 7 or 8 songs. It's also like a full hour, which is really wild.
It's so long.
It's so
such a long episode. It's crazy how much more an hour-long episode is than a 45-minute episode.
It really, you felt every single one of those 15 minutes. Yeah. They all weighed on me. So I think the commitment is pretty high. I think they really did go for it. We'll take maybe a point or 2 off for not coming up with your own songs.
Yeah, so I think maybe like an 8.
Sure. Yeah, I could do an 8. The stakes. Is this a game changer for the show? The stakes for characters and their arcs. Could you skip this episode? I think the stakes are pretty high.
Yeah, God's losing his powers.
Losing his power. You sort of like really do need to know that.
And we're really leaning into like the Lucifer God dynamic, which feels like is probably pretty special, right? Like this doesn't happen every episode.
Yeah, it felt important that God was there because, again, he's been gone for like thousands of years.
Yeah.
So God being there feels important. And they seem to be like really trying to maybe work through some stuff, which feels like a huge emotional arc for Lucifer and for God.
Yeah.
I can't believe God has an emotional arc on this show, but like, here you go, I guess.
And Lucifer's relationship with Chloe too, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's a dynamic that gets affected too. So yeah, I think stakes are pretty high. Like maybe a 9.
Yeah, I think they're high. I can't imagine you skipping this episode and still feeling like you were totally caught up
Yeah.
on how these people are going to interact with each other. Although, I don't know, they might just fucking say it in the next episode. They might, you remember last week when your dad visited?
Oh my god.
All right. So,
Okay.
personal ranking.
Personal ranking.
I need a second. What am I going to say?
I'm locked in. I've got it. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with what I originally thought.
Okay. I love your confidence because I have none whatsoever. You want to count us down?
Sure. 3, 2, 1, 5.
6. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that feels right. 5.5 is correct. So the final score of 57.5, Bloody Celestial Karaoke Jam is coming 18th out of the 22 we've done so far, which feels right. But also, it's just barely above Song Beneath the Song on Grey's Anatomy, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah. It'll be interesting if we ever revisit that one because I know Grey's Anatomy fans are probably not happy about that.
Listen, I still stand by it. Wow. No, I do think, and I think this is right. This is better than that. I think it takes bigger swings and misses harder.
That's true.
I think it is still better than that. It's just beneath Pinky Pride from My Little Pony, but it's like dead set in the middle of those.
Yeah. And My Little Pony had Weird Al in it, so what
It
are you gonna do?
did. The Weird Al points. That's that's huge. If this had Weird Al, we'd be having a different conversation.
If Weird Al was God, no, actually, I really love what they did with God here. So
No, Weird Al has to be like your main suspect in your murder.
yes.
By
that's
the way, would watch that.
Well, we won't be watching that next week because next week we'll see you once more with season 2, episode 38B of Hey Arnold, entitled "What's Opera, Arnold?"
You can find this episode on Paramount Plus.
Thank you, as always, to Olivia Braslovsky, our angelic audio architect, and to Sakana Powell, our magnificent marketing maven.
If you like the show, please be sure to rate and review us. And if you don't, keep it to yourself. You can find us on Instagram at Once More With TV or contact us using the information in the show notes.
And scene.